Hey, welcome! Today, we are going to crack the code on something every single one of us has struggled with, procrastination. We're going to get into why our brains are so wired to put things off, and more importantly, what we can actually do about it. Does this sound a little too familiar? Yeah, you've got a huge deadline breathing down your neck, and all of a sudden, organizing your sock drawer feels like the most important job in the world. Look, this isn't a coincidence. It's classic procrastination, and it happens to absolutely everyone. Okay, so let's really dive into this procrastination puzzle, because this isn't just about being lazy, not at all. It's actually a really complex, deep-seated human behavior that's been around forever, and to solve it, we've got to understand all the pieces first. In fact, this is so not new that the ancient Greeks actually had a word for it: akrasia. It perfectly describes that feeling. That feeling of knowing exactly what you're supposed to be doing, but for some reason you find yourself doing something else entirely. It's a fundamental part of being human. So what is really going on in our heads? Why do we get stuck in this loop of knowing better but not doing better? Well, to figure that out, we need to take a peek inside the procrastinator's brain and see the internal battle that's happening every time we face a task we don't want to do.
So this right here gets to the heart of it. It's something called time inconsistency. Just think of it like this. You basically have two selves. Your future self is the one who sets all the awesome goals, like I'm going to get fit or I'm going to finish this project early, but it's your present self that actually has to do the work. And our present self is all about instant gratification. It wants the donut now and doesn't really care about the long-term goal.
And that leads to this constant tug of war happening inside your brain. On one side, you've got your emotional brain, the amygdala. It's all about instinct, comfort, avoiding anything that feels bad. On the other side is your rational brain, the prefrontal cortex, which is trying to plan for the future. So when you're faced with a tough, boring, or scary task, which side do you think usually wins that tug of war?
And get this isn't just a metaphor. A German research team actually did fMRI scans and found a wild connection. People who are chronic procrastinators tend to have a physically larger amygdala. This suggests that for some of us, procrastination is literally a heightened fight or flight response. It's not a character flaw, it's your biology kicking in.
All right, so we've got the why down. Now for the most important part, the how. Knowing all the science is great, but we need real, actual tools to break the cycle. So let's get into some tricks you can use to get started, like right now.
This is probably one of the most famous and effective strategies out there, the Pomodoro Technique. And the reason it works so well is because it's so simple. You just pick one thing, set a timer for 25 minutes, and work on it with zero distractions. Then you get a 5-minute break. It makes a huge, scary project feel totally manageable because you're not thinking about the whole thing, just the next 25 minutes.
Yeah, but that's a fair question, right? Sometimes the resistance to starting is so strong that even 25 minutes feels like being asked to climb Mount Everest. So what do you do in that situation? You use this little gem, the 2-minute rule. The idea here is to shrink the task down so small that it's just impossible to say no to. Read a chapter becomes read one page. Write my essay becomes write one sentence. See, the goal isn't to finish. The goal is to master the art of just starting. Once you start, momentum usually takes over. Now, these little tricks are amazing for breaking out of a slump. But if you want to beat procrastination for good, you got to think bigger. You have to build long-term, sustainable systems that make doing the right thing the easy choice.
And this is huge. Your environment has a massive, massive impact on your behavior. I mean, if your phone is buzzing right next to you and YouTube is one click away, you're pretty much setting yourself up to fail. Instead, you have to design your space for focus. Have a spot that's just for work. Put your phone in another room. Make the productive choice the path of least resistance. Okay, I love this one. It's a strategy called temptation bundling. You basically pair something you want to do with something you need to do. So for example, you only let yourself listen to your favorite podcast while you're cleaning the kitchen. Or you only get to watch that new episode on Netflix while you're on the treadmill. It links that immediate reward to the task you're avoiding, and it tricks your brain into actually looking forward to it. All right, now for what might just be the most important part of this whole thing. We've talked about tools, we've talked about systems, but there's a really powerful mindset shift that holds it all together. And it's all about what you do after you slip up. Because you will. This is so counterintuitive, but so important. You'd think that being really hard on yourself would be the key to staying disciplined, right? Wrong. The research shows the exact opposite. A study found that students who actually forgave themselves for procrastinating were more motivated and less likely to do it again. All that guilt and shame from beating yourself up, it just feeds the procrastination cycle. Self-compassion is what actually breaks it.
And if you ever feel like you're alone in this struggle, just remember Leonardo da Vinci. We're talking about one of the most brilliant minds in all of human history, and he was a notorious procrastinator who left behind a whole trail of unfinished masterpieces. This isn't a sign that you're a failure, it's a sign that you're human.
So, here's where we land. You can't get back the time you lost to procrastination. It's just gone. But beating yourself up about it isn't going to help. The only thing you have any control over is this moment, right now. So the only real question is, what are you going to do with it?